Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to our little channel called Carlventures. And I am very honored that you have taken the time to view this video today. So we're doing part 3 of my series regarding the book that I wrote, Loving Yourself and Finding Joy. And the first chapter, we talked about sort of where we are in our lives and the things that we normally reflect upon as we look at as we reflect on our accomplishments, the things that we still want to do, what others have done that we may want to do as well, because we all have the capacity to do this and everything is possible for each of us. The second chapter talked about deciding to be happy. We did say that happiness is a choice. Like any other, sort of emotional commitment, we choose to be happy. And so as much as sometimes we are taken by surprise because of unforeseen things in our lives, happiness is something that we may have control over and may not be as difficult as we think it is to achieve. So the third part of this whole series is about reflections. This is the part where you need to ask yourself many questions when you're seeking your genuine passion because you want to be happy in life, or there is a void that you need to fill. And this is a very challenging task for some, but it is also possible. However, this is a necessary step. The journey to loving yourself requires processing of the things that you got to where you are today and figuring out where you'd like to see yourself in the future. By thoughtfully answering questions, you can learn about yourself and what prevents you from pursuing your activities or a career and living a happy life. Here are several self-reflective questions you ought to ask yourself. I highly recommend that you use a notepad to take down some of these questions. The first question is, what sparks the fire in you? Ooh, that's kind of deep. The answer to this question might be tricky, but if you've answered other similar questions before, you might just find it. You must, however, be highly explicit or be very specific about your sources of inspiration. What kinds of things do you find interesting and exciting? There's no reason to overthink this. This week alone, think about one thing that gave you a little bit of push to smile and, something that took you back to that feeling of goodness that you felt before. Sometimes our answers are in front of us or near us, but we must be patient. Pause, be silent, because there's so much noise around us, and listen to that whisper that tells us to trust our guts and go with it. The second question is, if your life is failure-proof, what would you do? Ooh, another one. So due to past failures or fear of failure, people may refrain from taking risks. I don't want to take risks. But what would you do without a doubt if you knew there was no chance you would fail? Failures are opportunities that you can use in the future. Therefore, taking a leap of faith is necessary to get us to our next stop. Remember that life is a marathon. And you need to develop the stamina to sustain yourself, like a runner, basically. Experiencing obstacles can help you become more resilient, aware of red flags, and bound not to repeat actions that did not work before. Because why would you do that, right? Every hill you climb and every step you take, or that you've taken, carries with it nuggets of lessons and bits of inspiration. And I call them sometimes motivational snacks that you can take until you get to your next destination. The next question is, what would you do if you had to start from scratch again? That's a hard one, because who would want to start from zero after everything that you've accomplished? Many people are in predicaments where they would like to do better. They do their jobs, they go to work, and because they must, not because they look forward to it. If you had a chance to start again and choose a different path, would you seize the chance to do so, or would you prefer to stay where you are? So what would you do? These are not necessarily about regrets, but what are the takeaways in your moments of clarity from a specific experience? Some call this a debrief, and we can call it a debrief of life. Start with the things that you believe can get you to your quick wins, right? The quick, instant wins. Successes that will fill your cup so you can move on and take the next step. Because that's the goal, to be able to take the next step. In my experience, the longer I contemplate, the harder it becomes to jumpstart anything. The next question is, if financial resources were not a problem, what would you do? So many people aspire to become what they would like to realize, right? So still, financial resources are always a factor for many to be able to do so. So consider what you would do with the money if you had it. So I caution you to think about things that will sustain your internal joy. So in case you don't know what joy is, we all experience it, but it's something internal, something that comes from within, right? Not brought about by buying stuff, because that type of feeling is more of happiness, because happiness can come and go. But joy is something that can sustain you for a lifetime. So something that gives you that extra smile each day in which you look forward to, or you'd like to experience again, because joy just never gets old. Everything is possible here. The next question is, what is your biggest dream? This is a loaded question as well, because I also find it one of the most challenging questions to answer, to be honest. Sometimes I wonder if there's even that one thing, because we have so many dreams, right? I mean, I have a lot of dreams growing up, and I still have dreams as an adult. So I know it's a hard question, but we evolve as human beings, and our childhood dreams may change over time as well, and we know that. But for this exercise, ideally, it would be best if you can just pick a plan or a goal that you wanted to achieve from years ago, or even just recently. What does your situation look like concerning your dream? Do you want to attend college, for example, but then again, you're a single mother with little support? Do you want to be self-employed or start a business? Are you still trying to decide the type of business that you would choose? Or do you have any prior business experience? You might want to purchase a first home, but you don't have savings. So what will you do then to achieve those, or to accomplish any one of those? So consider your dream, then list all the details that have to do with it, right? So a goal, ambition, or aspiration that has been part of your core for as long as you can remember. Something that when you finally achieve it, it will transform you to the next level of yourself. So think about and concentrate on this one thing. Also, do not forget your social circle. Your network is also referred to as your relationships, right? So I know that we have, all of us have acquaintances or friends or relatives and family. So who do you know who has more knowledge than you do, and who you can contact, right, to get assistance with this dream? And please be reminded that this process is a journey. Once again, it's a marathon and not a sprint, right? It's a journey, not a destination. And quick answers are not expected. The next question, what is the main obstacle that's keeping you from pursuing your dream? So the answer to this question can be a rabbit hole. I tried to answer this. The possibilities are endless. However, I encourage you to list every excuse you can think of for not pursuing your lofty goals. People who don't support you, money, worries, and other factors. You're probably afraid that people might mock you if they found out. You could not even be talented or skillful in your opinion. All this negative self-talk could act as obstacles that prevent you from progressing. Mind you, if you list one, you'll definitely find it. Excuses are everywhere, so there's no doubt that if we think we have an excuse, we can definitely find it. So it's up to us to control this negative self-talk. Once again, if you look for things that will stop you from taking this step, as I mentioned, you will undoubtedly find them. So be very careful in this step, and don't be discouraged. No, again, it's a process, right? So the next question, what passion are you hesitant to acknowledge your own? So many people have aspirations and passions that they are reluctant to discuss for fear of ridicule from others. But unfortunately, we all have control over this story. And since we are the ones taking the journey, we are in the driver's seat, the steering wheel, right? So this is for you. It's time to let go of what others think. So this passion might be too wishful or unrealistic, but what is it? What did you aspire to be the most as a child? When you were younger, did you have dreams of becoming someone, but things didn't go as planned? Do you ever consider how your life may have changed if you had pursued your aspirations when you were younger? Would you follow that desire right now, given a chance? So, what is the one thing you'll regret if today was the last day on Earth, or your last day on Earth? Kind of morbid, but it's a great question, right? So in a person's last few hours of life, many experience remorse. Many people find it too late to make up for wasted opportunities. When they understand that they're going to pass away soon, people regret a lot of things. But unfortunately, it is frequently too late for many individuals to make up for wasted opportunities. If given a choice, though, they would have utterly different lives. They would have lived differently if they had an opportunity to do it again. What would be your most significant regret or regrets if a doctor informed you that you only had a few weeks to live? If you had more time left, what would you do? What would you want to accomplish? There is no day but today to take the next step in your 1,000-mile journey of life. Challenge yourself even if it's uncomfortable. Keep sight of where you'd want to go. After responding to these questions, I hope that you now have a clearer understanding of some of the dreams that never left you. First, knowing what you've always wanted to do is very, very essential. Second, imagine what you would buy if you won the lotto and how much money you would have. Then how would you use yourself? It's crucial to know these things because we play these dreams in our heads 1,000,000 times in our lifetimes. But when you finally hit the jackpot, you don't ever want to forget those dreams. When you finally land your dream job, you want to remember how you got there and why you wanted to be there in the first place. So that's chapter 3 of the book. Thank you once again for listening in. Please comment, subscribe if you're not a subscriber yet. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my world to you. Peace and safety to you and to yours.